As a writer-producer, I've been reading tons of scripts, and these are like a stack of scripts that I've been reading over the years. And then when I read David's script, The BARRET Boys, was really impressed with it. I liked the playfulness, the fun. It looked like a great script.
Really, the core story came from myself and my brothers as children. We were very rambunctious little boys. We always had a babysitter on the weekends, and we would kind of terrorize the babysitters. And so the idea behind this whole thing came from that. It's a completely made-up story, but it is set with three young boys. And
You did tie up the babysitter, didn't you?
Yeah.
Some of it is true. I'm from USC. I have a bachelor's in cinema, television production. Was mentored there in script writing and directing by John Milius, Bob McKee, and Margaret Mary. I then went to graduate school where I studied film scoring, actually, with Bruce Broughton and Jerry Goldsmith. I then went from there and worked for 4 years in major market international television as an offline editor and post supervisor. And I've been essentially an independent filmmaker since 1992, real strongly on the writing, hands-on creative side, shooting, lighting, editing, and so on. So I know production really well.
I've been writing for about the last 5 years. I was into construction. I owned a company, and sometimes it gets boring on the job, and so I would create all these characters in my head and stories and go home and work on them at night. And my wife asked me if I was to do it again, what would I do? And I really wanted to be a writer. And so I went and enrolled back in college and got a degree in screenwriting. And I just completed my first feature documentary. Spent the last 2 years working on that.
Another thing that I really liked about the BARRET Boys, besides just it being a very fun, playful script to read, was the underlying message of integrity and following through with promises you make. And I think with all best intentions, a lot of parents are guilty of saying, yeah, I'll do this, and they never come through. And then the kids, of course, never forget that they always remember it.
If you were to compare BARRET Boys to two different films out there, the first one would be Home Alone from the 1990s, where Macaulay Culkin and Joe Pesci are kind of going at each other. And the other film that you could compare it to is Babysitter's Adventure. And the difference is with our film, it's set with just an average American household. The working mom, she's trying to get by and doing the best she can. And, her kids are kind of left alone. And she currently looks at her job as more important than her family. And so her kids are just normal boys that are a little maybe on the rambunctious side. Yeah, it's a fun, fast film. A lot of it takes place in a home improvement center. The youngest boy chooses to build a doghouse rather than to get a toy.
We're looking for investment.
We actually have a distribution company who is offering us U.S. theatrical release, looking at product placement.
Well, about how many companies have you contacted so far?
Oh,
30?
Upward in 30 companies and still going. Everything from toy companies to clothing lines to there's a paintball scene. In 1990, Home Alone was the top grossing film of all time. It's actually grossed over $500 million. It's a totally different story, but it still has that fun family feel.
Yeah, just come up with stuff if there's something you can think that we need to
what we should say too? We have a full business plan, a 19-page breakdown of the budget, how the money will be spent. The company will be put together with all the key players for 4 weeks, and then production will be 5 weeks, where we'll actually be shooting the film And then after that, we go into post-production, which is going to be 12 weeks. The distribution company will get it, and they'll set the release on December 25th. Probably 2000, we're looking at 2010 right now.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect time for a film like this. All across the world, there's a strong, increasing appetite for quality family pictures. So I think the timing couldn't be better. And a lot of independent films now are just really breaking through like they haven't in the past. So I think there's also an appetite for films that have a different kind of look and feel, something done outside of the Hollywood system. And we have the script, we have the team that we're putting together for this. We invite you to contact us and look at our business plan. By all means, read our script and jump on board.
Yeah, another thing I want to add is too, it's a good family film. There's no swearing, there's no sex, and there's no drugs. And so, and today, usually that's what people want in a film to sell it. And I'm actually coming in at a different angle. I believe I can make a great quality film without any of that stuff, that the entire family can sit down and enjoy a film.